The development team is another one of the 3 roles that constitute every Scrum team, alongside the Scrum Master and Product Owner. Traditional software development approaches define various job types, such as architect, programmer, tester, database administrator, UI designer, and so on. Scrum, however, defines the role of development team, which is simply a cross-functional collection of these types of people. The development team members collectively have the skills required to deliver the business value requested by the product owner. The term development team may appear to be the wrong label to apply to a team that is composed of more than just developers. Other labels have been used, such as delivery team, design build test team, and just team. It's not apparent that any of these labels are more appropriate, less ambiguous, or easier to use than development team. For now, the Scrum community has converged on the use of the term development team, and we will use this term in this course. The development team performs several key responsibilities during the sprint. Firstly, they perform sprint execution. This is what the development team would spend the majority of their time on. Once the sprint planning meeting finishes, the team gets a sprint backlog and a sprint goal that they need to work on. The development team self-organizes themselves and collectively decide how they will plan and manage this work. It includes designing, building, integrating, and testing the sprint backlog items to create a potentially shippable product. Secondly, they inspect and adapt each day to meet sprint goals. One of the critical strengths of the Scrum model is its agility and ability to adapt daily. The Scrum team participates in the daily Scrum meeting, where they collectively inspect the progress towards meeting the sprint goal. Based on the growth, they adapt the plan for the day, and it allows them to ensure there are no surprises towards the end of the sprint. Thirdly, they groom the product backlog. While a significant focus of the development team is to complete the sprint backlog, they still need to spend some time on product backlog grooming. The product owner is primarily responsible for backlog management. However, the development team assists him or her in refining, estimating, and prioritizing the backlog items. Usually, the development team spends a maximum of 10% of its available capacity for this activity. Next, they plan the sprint. At the start of each sprint, the development team participates in the sprint planning meeting, along with the product owner and Scrum Master. The development team helps the product owner in defining the goal of the sprint. They also determine how much work they can do realistically to meet the sprint goal. It is usually done by allocating story points to each story and comparing it with how many story points the development team has historically achieved in a sprint. If the development team has any questions on the requirement, they will clarify that with the product owner. Next, they inspect and adapt the product and the process. At the end of each sprint, the development team has 2 opportunities to inspect and adapt: the sprint review and the sprint retrospective. In the sprint review, the development team demonstrates what they have accomplished in the sprint. The participants include the Scrum Master, the product owner, sponsors, and any other stakeholders. It allows everyone to inspect the increment and decide how to move forward. Finally, in the sprint retrospective, the development team, along with the product owner and Scrum Master, review how well the sprint was executed and what are the opportunities for improvement. These improvements could be process or technical.